Standing by to help you. The call is free and there's no obligation. Take charge of your life.
90 miles an hour as it swept through New Iberia. Lily also unleashed heavy rain, and although the biggest problem was Lily's powerful wind. But is the worst over now that Lily has made landfall? With that answer and a look ahead, here's meteorologist Rich Johnson.
All right, thank you, Kristen. We do believe that the worst is over in the sense of storm surge as well as the gusty winds. What may not be the worst over of as yet would be the rainfall. We still expect some very heavy amounts of rain, possibly 5 inches or more along the path of this hurricane. In fact, President Bush has now declared all of Louisiana a disaster area. Here's our satellite photograph. Let me show you that center of circulation. You can sort of follow it right here. Right now, that center of circulation right about there, and that is Evangeline Parish. We believe that this center of circulation will gradually make more of a curve off to the northeast, and we believe it'll take it back over toward western Mississippi, observing the latest pressure falls. And we do believe that there will soon be a curve off to the northeast and eventually up through Tennessee. As we check out the latest information on this hurricane, and it is possible that this is the last time that we will report Lily as a hurricane. We're expecting new information in from the Hurricane Center within a few minutes. It's possible during the next advisory they will downgrade this. Again, we'll wait from the Hurricane Center and see what they say. As of 1 p.m. Central Time, at that point, Lily was centered at 30.5 north, 92.4 west. That is 80 miles south of Alexandria. Again, that was 1 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Top sustained winds 75 miles per hour. That was as, again, at 1 p.m. Central Time. Here's the latest with the warnings. Hurricane warnings up from High Island over to the mouth of the Mississippi. And again, it's possible these will be dropped if the hurricane is downgraded to a tropical storm. We expect that to happen either this advisory or the next one coming up later today. Tropical storm warnings are still up from the mouth of the Mississippi eastward to the Alabama-Florida border. Also, hurricane warnings are up for some of the inland hurricane effects all the way back over to our extreme southwestern Mississippi, and also into Louisiana, Mississippi. We have tropical storm warnings. We now have the latest information. Thanks, Kristen. Kristen Dodd just passed this along that Lily has weakened. It is now a tropical storm as of 2 p.m. Let me read the latest information to you. As of 2 p.m., Lily was centered 30.7 north, 92.4 west, where that's about 50 miles just south of Alexandria. Top sustained winds now 70, so Lily has been downgraded to a tropical storm. So we do expect, again, still the advisories to be changed. Hurricane warnings along the coast have been discontinued. Also, tornado watch from southeast Louisiana into southern Mississippi. Have a look at this radar estimate of precipitation. Take a look at this area right down and through here, those central parishes of Louisiana picking up some heavy rain. Recently, since this morning, upwards of 3-4 inches of rain have fallen. Heaviest of the rain continues to make its way north. Latest radar picture, you can see that center of circulation moving northward. Earlier, we had a report from Jeff Morrow, New Iberia, wind gust around 92. Jim Cantori was reporting some wind gusts into the low 70s. Now notice the core of this system back over toward Evangeline Parish. We still expect some of the gusts still probably up near 70 miles per hour, but as this tropical storm continues inland and north and eventually northeast, we expect these winds to gradually die down. A little bit farther to the east, back over to New Orleans, you're looking better. Mike Seidel has been reporting from the area recently, and I just spoke with him a few minutes ago. He says he can see the rain bands off to the east, but it looks like for you in New Orleans, you are in the rain bands, in between rain bands at this time. Where do we expect this system to go? Well, more of a turn to the northeast, and we think that'll take it on a track similar to Isidore right up through the Ohio Valley. Of course, we have Kyle. It is still well offshore. We'll keep you updated on Kyle as well. Continuing coverage of Lily coming up. We also have coming up next your local on the 8th. Stay with us.
Your cheating heart will make you weep. You'll cry and cry and try to sleep, but sleep won't come the whole night through. Your cheating heart.
Visit a York dealer near you. It's time to get comfortable. Now each room can have its own unique fragrance with Airwick scented oils, White Bouquet, Rain Garden, and new from Airwick, Sparkling Citrus. Airwick, fragrances that change your world.
Have you heard? There's a better way to mop. The old-fashioned way is messy, time-consuming, and you're spreading filthy water all over your floor. Well, not anymore. Presenting the Swiffer Wet Jet Power Mop with Jet Action Sprayer. It's the fun and easy way to get your floors unbeatably clean in half the time. The Wet Jet isn't just a mop. It's a mopping machine with advanced features that a look-alike doesn't have. Just slide in the cleaning solution and press on the mop pad. Then simply spray, mop, and toss. It's that easy. Wet Jet's advanced cleaning solution has a special ingredient that attracts dirt like a magnet. Use it for any mess on virtually any floor, from linoleum to finished wood.
You want it quick and easy. This could do it.
To be able to throw the pad away.
Parts of Louisiana hit very hard today thanks to what is now Tropical Storm Lily. A tornado watch remains in effect for parts of Louisiana, and severe weather is also partly the blame for some destruction in the Central Plains. We go for more on this story to our severe weather expert, Dr. Greg Forbes.
We do have that dual threat tornadoes, and there have been 14 of them reported thus far with Lily, and the possibility of developing severe weather this evening and overnight along a cold front in the Midwest. Here has been the problem today. Lily has come on shore and now moved up across Alexandria, Louisiana. As it's done so, an unusual event has occurred. There has been this tight core. Originally it was an eye wall, but there's been this tight shower band and thunder shower band just north of it, and that has produced at least 8 tornadoes that we know of. That's pretty uncommon. Most of the time the tornadoes are farther to the east in off to the forward right quadrant in the northeast, about 100 miles away from the circulation center. Right now, tornado warning for Grant Parish in north central Louisiana. Up in the Pollock area, that's just to the north of Alexandria as that storm pushes north at about 16 miles per hour. Then we take the broader view. This is what I was talking about. This is the more common area, and there is a tornado watch area out there. There's that one little circulation center problem spot. Then we have these rain bands. We've had a number of tornadoes in these bands. Right now, those extend from around Biloxi up toward the Hattiesburg area and then northeast of Jackson and Mississippi. No tornado warnings in there at the moment, but damaging winds possible in Jasper area. Then we have the prospects of also heavy rain. That core just north of the circulation center bringing 7 inches of rain at rates of 3 inches per hour as it tracks northward. Possibility of severe weather there in red in the Midwest. Lots of lightning taking place. A lot of this is in cool air. But we have an upper air disturbance that's coming toward the area. Just south of that front, Oklahoma City, temperatures well into the 80s. We could get a quarter of severe weather coming up toward the area just south of Kansas City and up toward St. Louis overnight. So we're going to continue to monitor that area. That's a developing story for this evening. Now back for more tropical coverage. Here's Lisa.
Thank you, Dr. Greg Forbes, our severe weather expert, keeping tabs on the severe weather associated with what is now Tropical Storm Lily, as well as a very powerful system that's pulling away from the Rockies and promises to bring additional showers and thunderstorms for the Central Plains. Eventually, these two pieces of energy will merge together. That's kind of bad news for some very wet conditions from Chicago to Paducah this time tomorrow. In the meantime, however, we continue to see conditions improve across the extreme Louisiana southern parts. We're seeing some of the winds gusting in the last half hour upwards of 30 to 35 miles per hour. But again, the core of the heavier wind and heavy rain is associated with Lily's central area. That's up around the Alexandria, Louisiana vicinity. And here, we're still likely to see tropical storm strength wind until Lily weakens a little bit more here as we go into the later evening hours. As far as travel does go, it is going to be a problem. Mike Seidel, as well as Jeff Morrow and Jim Cantori, all on location saying there's a lot of debris out there. So if you're doing any traveling, let me tell you, this is the area to avoid. US 90, I-10, Interstate 49. These are areas that will be plagued with heavy rainfall, lots of debris. Some roads are likely to be flooded out and not passable. So lots and lots of problems. Even as we go into tomorrow, it's very likely that these will be areas you'll want to avoid. Showers and thunderstorms may give us a little bit of a break periodically through the day tomorrow along Interstate 35, Interstate 70, going along the corridor that leads
into the St. Louis vicinity, you might have some problems occasionally, but tune in frequently. We'll tell you more about these conditions as they turn on and off during the day. Again, as we look out for Lily to weaken, we're still having a number of problems. It's a very dangerous situation, especially for Alexandria and parts of Mississippi.
You splish and splash, splish and splash. Now your pasta's going down the drain, and your family's got hunger pains. Not anymore. Introducing Pasta Pro Cooker, the spill-free way to cook, drain, and serve perfect pasta. Pasta Pro is lightweight, fits any stovetop, and drains the water, not your pasta. Watch. Just place in your favorite pasta. When it's ready, turn the lid to the locking position. Then easily pour the water out and keep the pasta in. It's that easy. Now you can cook, drain, and serve mountains of spaghetti all in one saucepan. Quickly prepare tasty macaroni and cheese for the kids. Or create a delicious linguine with clam dinner with no extra dishes. Pasta Pro's unique locking lid assures you of a safe and steady pour. It's so dependable, not even solid bricks can remove the top. Hey, that strainer can ruin your ravioli. But not Pasta Pro. It's perfect for delicate cheese tortellini, stuffed spinach ravioli, or bow tie pasta. And watch this, brown sirloin beef. Then easily drain the fat. Add your special ingredients, and you've got a pot of hot chili without the mess. Pasta Pro is ideal for boiling corn on the cob, fresh boiled lobster. You can even cook, drain, mix, and serve mashed potatoes all in one saucepan. And with a durable non-stick surface, cleanup's a breeze. Stop juggling with plates and strainers. Order the Pasta Pro Cooker with the quick and easy recipe guide for just $19.95. But wait, there's more. We'll include this amazing cheese grater. Coarse grate Parmesan cheese with ease. Shred mountains of mozzarella on a pizza. Or finely grate chocolate for dessert toppings. Yours free. And if you're still not convinced, we'll include another Pasta Pro Cooker free. Prepare eggs for egg salad sandwiches or pasta for two. Yours absolutely free. This incredible $60 value is all yours for just $19.95.
Thanks for joining us for your tropical update. I'm Sharon Rees-Alton. Let's go ahead and take a peek now at what's going on with Lily. And the very latest now with Tropical Storm Lily as of 4 o'clock Central Daylight Time, packing winds of 50 miles per hour, moving to the north at 18, and located near Alexandria, Louisiana. So still packing a punch with winds. Here's some of the latest wind gusts that we have experienced in and around this region, and up to 30 and 31 mile per hour gusts. And tropical storm warnings remain in effect for much of Louisiana, extending into southwestern Mississippi and extreme southeastern portions of Arkansas. So still the potential for some wind damage in some spots should we see some of those higher gusts, and still a lot of rain to contend with here as well. Let's talk more about the severe weather potential, and we always have that when we have a landfalling tropical system, and we still have a tornado watch in effect here that does include you around Jackson, Mississippi, down through New Orleans. We have had numerous tornadoes throughout the course of the day. Usually they're located in the outer bands that we see here, but in this case we did see that, but we also saw some near the core, that center of circulation right around that eye wall. So, and now we're still watching for this, but it looks as though chances for that are diminishing a bit as we go into the late night. Our own severe weather expert, Dr. Greg Forbes, is also going to take a look at that, and he'll expand on that subject a little bit more coming up in a few more minutes in the evening edition. Look at the rainfall that has come down here into eastern Louisiana. We've seen upwards of 3-4 inches of rainfall. We do have reports around Boothville of over 7 inches of rain, so locally there is some significant rainfall amounts. And again, also into south central Louisiana, into central parts of the state, some of those parishes really inundated with the rainfall. Therefore, flash flood watches remain in effect across much of Louisiana, Mississippi, and even portions of western Tennessee. The rest of the tropics are relatively quiet. We do still have Kyle lurking out here, and boy, this thing has just been all but forgotten, it seems like. Tropical storm Kyle, and it's just been meandering, not really affecting any landmass. It has, however, provided some heavier surf up around Bermuda, and also maybe toward the Bahamas and toward the southeast coast. But right now, packing winds of 50 miles per hour, moving to the west-northwest at 6. This thing will continue to kind of move westward, then start to move northward, and eventually northeastward. So it looks like it's going to continue to avoid any land masses, and that is certainly some good news. Dr. Forbes is standing by, and again, he does have the latest on any severe weather across the nation, so let's go to him now.
And on that severe weather front, we still do have the threat of tornadoes from the remnants of Lily, especially the rain bands now, plus some severe weather threat in the Midwest as well. You see some of these yellow corridors here and some of the outer rain bands. Still a tornado warning for one of those. That's in Atala County in central Mississippi. That storm, that circulation indicated by Doppler radar around the Ethel-McCool area, and some of this tornado watch area has been chopped away. We also have a severe weather threat. That's going to likely increase as the night progresses out across with severe thunderstorm warning right now in parts of Kansas and Oklahoma. Saw initially here some lightning. That's well back into the cold air. That's back toward the areas that have been having snow. Some of that cold air has been advancing toward the warmer air. You can see that by an increasing amount of thunderstorms catching up to that leading line. Still pretty strong thunderstorm here. Severe thunderstorm warning for Harper County with a bit of a bow shape here. That's damaging winds likely about an hour southwest of Wichita headed that way. Could see an expansion of these thunderstorms overnight tonight as a little wave of low pressure runs up along this warm front and could trigger hail. Occasional tornadoes and some damaging winds could push its way up toward the Kansas City area and perhaps even towards the St. Louis area toward morning. Sharon?
Okay, Dr. Forbes, thank you very much. As you can see, a very active weather map. We'll have full details on how this will translate into your forecast for Friday. All that and more coming up next with Evening Edition.
This program was brought to you by the Home Depot, driving down the cost of home improvement.
Honey, you remember when we bought this house, you said we'd remodel the kitchen?
Vaguely. See, the problem is I just don't have the time.
We can take care of the installation for you.
Can?
Countertops and cabinets. What about tile floor?
Well, sure. Floors, garage doors, even a roof if you like.
Guaranteed?
Absolutely.
I could have done this.
I could have.
We expect showers moving into our area by midnight and continuing on into tomorrow. Look for precip levels of 1 inch downtown and up to 2 inches in the outlying areas. Right now, the weather watch temperature is 52 degrees.
With the peace of mind you'll get from the Lexus of warranties, owning a certified pre-owned Lexus feels just like owning a new Lexus. Don't be surprised if you treat it like one.
Let's look at the 5-day.
Only at your Lexus dealer.
Hey, Vanessa, changing my milk for you, Apple. Okay. Bang!
Hey, Ving, I'll give you $5 for this old phone.
It's not even worth that much.
Right.
Now at Radio Shack, trade in any wireless phone and get $50 to $100 in mail-in rebates toward a new next-generation wireless phone with color screen.
I waited 30 years to do that.
Radio Shack, you've got questions, we've got answers.
Early Sunday morning.
The weather's pretty quiet in the tropics tonight. First time in a couple of days I've been able to say that. Good to see you, my friend. This is your Tropical Update. I'm Dave Schwartz. We start off with Tropical Storm Lily tonight. It's no longer a Category 4 hurricane, not even a Category 1. Maximum sustained winds 40 miles an hour. The next advisory, which will be at 4 o'clock Central Time, this will be declassified. It'll become a tropical depression. So it's good. It's been moving over land now for about, I guess about 16 hours. And as the center moves over land, of course, it weakens, and it weakens rapidly. Still, it's fairly breezy out there tonight in Arkansas and northeast Texas, Mississippi, Louisiana, but the winds are only gusting to about 40 miles an hour, gusting to 40 miles an hour. So it's howling from time to time, and it's raining heavily here near the center of the circulation and just north into the rice fields of southeastern Arkansas. And the center of the circulation is heading right up toward Memphis tonight. How about that? So your winds will be picking up. They're about 10, 12 miles an hour now. They'll pick up to maybe 20 to 25 miles an hour later on tonight. Along the east side of the circulation, we've had reports of tornadoes, southern Mississippi and southern Louisiana, but the threat for that is diminished now to the point where the tornado watch area has now been, it's expired. Even though the tropical storm, the center of the tropical storm is right here, there's still an onshore flow of not only wind, but water. And at times of high tide, anywhere from just west of Pensacola through Mobile Bay, back to Lake Maurepas and Pontchartrain, around to Boothville and over to Intercoastal City, coastal flooding is likely here tonight for times of high tide. And then seas and the waves will begin to diminish tomorrow. So things are looking up here along the Gulf Coast. As you can see, we just have cloudy skies in New Orleans, the rain long since over, and the wind is now light and variable. Good news. Out in the Atlantic Ocean a little further is this little smudge. Look at that. We're not seeing the oranges anymore like we were there. That means the precipitation has lightened up in the lower Mississippi Valley, but that is in association with now 21-day-old Tropical Storm Lyle. I'll make that 13-day-old Tropical Storm Lyle. It developed on September 20th, and it continues just meandering. It's been drifting toward the west and west-southwest, south of the island of Bermuda and well off the east coast of the United States. And this westerly drift, 3 miles an hour, that's a walking pace, will continue for the next 24 hours, and then there's some anticipation that it will turn north. But it's probably going to sit out here for a while. It's undergoing some pretty strong shear at the upper levels of the atmosphere. As you can see, the orange on the top, there's our tropical storm right in here. There's some strong north to northeast winds, and that's limiting its potential for strength. And that's good news. We won't turn our backs on this. If you live from the Carolinas to Florida, you'll want to monitor the progression of Tropical Storm Kyle. Elsewhere in the Atlantic Basin, it's quiet down here on the Intertropical Convergence Zone, all the way into the Caribbean and Gulf of Mexico, all is quiet. And on the west side, things are very quiet here off the coast of Mexico. So if you're planning a trip to the Mexican Riviera, bon voyage, bien viaje, as we say in Spanish. Here in the middle of the United States, we've got a problem. We've got a trough of low pressure swinging out over the Rocky Mountains and very warm, humid air here. And a line of severe thunderstorms has developed. It's been here all day from Nebraska to Kansas to Oklahoma. And now this severe thunderstorm watch in effect through 4 o'clock Central Time. If you live in Sedgwick County, that's Wichita, northeast side of town, you've got a severe thunderstorm rumbling through the area right now, damaging winds and some hail. And these will head toward Kansas City. Omaha getting in on just rain with thunder, the potential for severe weather further south and now into southwestern Missouri. That's a wrap on storms, tropical and elsewise. Now this.
This program was brought to you by the Home Depot, driving down the cost of home improvement.
And the third little pig's house was made of brick.
Just like ours?
Yeah, just like ours. Only the floors were a lot nicer, with Berber in the living room and ceramic tile in the kitchen.
Great.
It's autumn inspiration at the Home Depot, with no payments and no interest on flooring purchases till January 2004 with your Home Depot credit card. Plus, get 20% off special order wood, tile, and laminate flooring. Only at the Home Depot and Expo Design Center.
We expect showers moving into our area by midnight and continuing on into tomorrow. Look for precip levels of 1 inch downtown and up to 2 inches in the outlying areas. Right now, the weather watch temperature is 52 degrees.
With the peace of mind you'll get from the Lexus of warranties, owning a certified pre-owned Lexus feels just like owning a new Lexus. Don't be surprised if you treat it like one.
Let's look at the